2:47 a.m. That's when your eyes opened. Not because of an alarm, because of a thought. And once it was in, it wouldn't leave. And it wasn't just one thought, was it? It was like a wave. One worry pulled in the next one. The job, the money, that conversation you had yesterday, the thing you're still waiting to hear back about. And before you knew it, your chest was tight and your jaw was clenched, and you were lying there staring at the ceiling, doing the math on a life that doesn't seem to add up. And here's what makes it worse. It's not just one thing. If it were one thing, you could fight it. You could point to it and say, "That's the problem. Let me fix that." But this feels like everything, coming from every direction at the same time, and you can't find the off switch. And your body knows it before your mind catches up. That tension in your shoulders you've been carrying for weeks, the way your stomach drops every time your phone buzzes, the way you're exhausted, but your brain won't stop scanning for the next thing that could go wrong. That's not you being dramatic. That's your nervous system responding to real pressure. There's a reason your chest gets tight. There's a reason your sleep breaks at 2 a.m. Your body is not broken. It's telling the truth. You're carrying too much. And maybe the loneliest part is this. You look around and it seems like nobody else is going through it. Everyone else is just fine, posting their coffee and their morning routines and their good vibes. And you're over here barely keeping it together before 7 a.m. If that's you this morning, you just found the right place. Welcome to morning prayer. Before we go anywhere, I need you to do one thing for me, just one. Wherever you are right now, drop your shoulders. No, really. You're holding them up by your ears and you didn't even know it. Let them fall. And take one breath. Not the shallow kind you've been surviving on, a real one. Deep. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Let it all go. Psalm 62, verse 1 says, "Truly my soul finds rest in God." Not in figuring everything out, not in solving the problems before breakfast, in God. You don't need a battle plan right now. You don't need answers. You just need to be here. And you are. So let's start there. That's enough. I want to try something a little different this morning. And honestly, I wasn't sure about it when it first came to me. But the more I sat with it, the more I couldn't let it go. So stay with me. What if God wrote you a letter this morning? Not a sermon, not a lecture, not a list of rules, just a letter. The kind a father writes to his kid when he knows they're scared and nobody else is awake. What would it say? If you tore open the envelope, the first line, written in bold, would be Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord." That's the first thing he wants you to know, before anything else, before the explanation, before the comfort, before the how. He starts with a verdict. No weapon forged against you will prevail. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say no weapons will be forged. It doesn't say nothing hard will come. It doesn't say you'll never feel like the hits keep coming from every direction. It says they won't win. They don't get the final word. And that's actually more helpful than a promise that nothing bad will happen, because you know something bad is happening. You're living in it. But the letter says it will not take you out. And here's the part that really got me this morning. The verse ends with this little phrase, "This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord." Heritage. That's an inheritance word. It means this protection doesn't come from how hard you pray or how good you've been this week. It comes from whose family you belong to. You inherited it, like a last name, like a birthright. So at 2:47 a.m., when everything is closing in and your chest is tight and the thoughts won't stop, the first line of the letter says, "This will not take you out, because you're mine." Actually, let's stop right here. Before we keep going, let's just pray one thing. Just one. God, we hear what you wrote. No weapon formed against me will prosper. And right now, before we even finish reading the rest of the letter, we're choosing to believe it. Even though it doesn't feel true yet, even though the pressure is still there, we're choosing you over the noise. Thank you that you wrote this promise before we even woke up this morning. Thank you that it was already true before we asked. Okay, let's keep going. Turn the page. God knows about the specific attacks. Just look at what he wrote next. Psalm 91, verse 7. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. I read that 3 times this morning before it landed. 1,000, 10,000. That's not a small threat. That's overwhelming odds. That's exactly the kind of math that makes your stomach drop. When you look at your life and the problems are multiplying faster than the solutions. And God doesn't say, "Oh, it's not that bad," or "Stop worrying." He doesn't minimize it. He says, "Yeah, 1,000, 10,000. I see all of it, and it still won't reach you." Not because you're tough enough, because I'm faithful enough. Can I be honest with you? This verse is hard for me sometimes, because it doesn't always feel true. When you're in the middle of it, when the money's running out, and the relationship is cracking, and your body's exhausted, but your mind won't stop, it does not feel like you're protected. It feels like you're exposed. It feels like the walls are thin and everything's getting through. I know I needed to hear this today too, more than I expected. And I think that's why God included the next part of the letter, because he knows we need to understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. Turn the page one more time. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world. Now here's what I want you to see. This verse isn't trying to scare you. It's trying to redirect you. Because when everything's coming against you, the natural response is to fight what you can see. The boss, the bill, the person who hurt you, the diagnosis, the silence from someone you love. But this verse says, the real source of the pressure isn't always the thing with a name and a face. Sometimes there's something deeper trying to steal your peace, trying to convince you that you're alone, trying to make you believe God looked away. And here's why that actually matters. Because it means this isn't about you being weak. You're not falling apart because something's wrong with you. There's actual pressure on your life. And recognizing that, actually naming it, takes the shame out of the struggle. You're not fragile. You're in a fight you didn't sign up for. And you're still standing. That means something. But the letter doesn't end with the fight. The last line is the one that matters most. And it's written at the bottom of the page like a signature, like a promise signed in his own name. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3. But the Lord is faithful, and He will strengthen you and protect you. But the Lord is faithful. Did you hear that? After everything, after the 1,000, after the 10,000, after the unseen pressure, after the 2 a.m. ceiling and the thoughts that wouldn't stop, God signs the letter with 4 words. But I am faithful. Not, but try harder. Not, but you should have prayed more. Not, but you better get your act together. Just, I'm faithful. I'll strengthen you. I'll protect you. And you know what hit me? The word, but. I love that word in this verse. Because but means God is responding to the hard stuff, not ignoring it. 1,000 may fall, 10,000 at your right hand. The struggle is real. The pressure is real. But I am faithful. He doesn't pretend it's not happening. He steps into the middle of it and says, I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm still between you and everything that's coming. So if this morning felt like an ambush, like you woke up already losing a fight you didn't pick, here's how the letter ends. My child, I see what's coming against you. All of it. Every direction. Every 2 a.m. thought. Every hit you didn't see coming. And I'm telling you today, it won't win. Not because you're strong enough to handle it, because I'm faithful enough to carry you through it. I was faithful before. I'll be faithful now. Every single time. Your Father. Here's your sentence for today. When it gets loud again, at work, in the car, at 2 a.m. tonight, whisper this. It's coming against me, but it's not getting past God. That's it. That's your truth today. Not a battle plan, not a 5-step strategy, just one sentence. It's coming against me, but it's not getting past God. Everything we just said, God already knew it, but He wants to hear it from us. Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we're here, God. We showed up. And honestly, some of us almost didn't. Some of us almost grabbed the phone, scrolled the feed, numbed the noise. But something pulled us here instead. Not because we have it together, but because you do. And we're coming to you the way we actually are this morning. Not cleaned up, not put together, just real. Father, you know what the night was like. You saw the 2:47 a.m. thoughts that wouldn't stop. You saw the 3:30 toss and turn when we couldn't find peace. You were already awake. You were already watching. Lord, before we ask for anything, we want to remember. We remember the last time we thought it was over, and it wasn't. We remember the bill that somehow got paid when the math didn't work. We remember the door that opened after every other one slammed shut. That was you, God. Every time. That was you. Thank you. Thank you that even when everything felt like it was falling apart, you hadn't moved. Now, Father, we bring you this morning, all of it. The thoughts that woke us up and wouldn't leave. The pressure at the job that's squeezing the life out of us. The money situation we haven't told anyone about. The one where we open the app and just stare at the number and our chest gets tight. We're not pretending anymore, Lord. Not here, not with you. We're laying it all down, right here on the floor between us and you. Father, would you look at us right now? What do you see when you look at us, God? Because we know what we see. We see tired. We see failing. We see not enough. But what do you see? You said no weapon formed against us would prosper. You said that, not us, you. And we're choosing to believe it this morning, even when our feelings are screaming something different. Lord, would you stand in the doorway of this day? Would you look at everything coming against us and say, this far and no further? Would you be the wall that nothing gets past? God, for the one who's barely holding on right now, the one whose hands are shaking and whose heart is racing, hold them, Father. Please hold them. And Lord, because you are standing in front of us, we don't have to cower behind you. We stand up right now. In the name of Jesus, we push back the darkness that's been pressing in on our lives. We push back the confusion. We push back the heaviness that tried to suffocate us at 2 a.m. It does not belong here. It does not have permission to stay. We are servants of the Lord, and our heritage, our inheritance, is protection. So we're not just hiding behind you today, God. We're standing with you. Because you didn't just write us a letter of comfort, you wrote us a letter of authority, and we're choosing to walk in it. You are louder than the 2 a.m. thoughts. You are louder than the fear. You are louder than the worst case scenario. And now, God, we're going to do something hard. We're going to stop talking. We're going to stop asking, stop listing, stop fighting, just for a moment. And we're just going to sit here with you. Not because we have nothing left to say, but because sometimes the bravest prayer is just being in the room with you, letting you love us without saying a word back. Just breathe. He's here. Let him hold you. You don't have to perform right now. You don't have to say the right thing. You can just be held. Father, we receive what you're giving this morning. We receive the peace we didn't earn. We receive the protection we can't see yet. We receive the strength that shows up when ours runs out. And before we leave this place, Lord, here's what we're taking with us today. God, it might be coming against me, but it's not getting past you. It's not getting past you. Walk with us today, Father. When we forget everything we prayed this morning, remind us. When the pressure comes back, and it might, whisper that sentence back to our hearts. It's coming against you, but it's not getting past me. We love you, God. We trust you. We trust you. In Jesus' name, Amen. Before you go, here's what I want you to take into this day. Say it with me if you can, or just let it settle over you. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I cancel every assignment of the enemy over my life today. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I cancel every assignment of the enemy over my life today. And remember, the sentence you carry, it's coming against me, but it's not getting past God. You showed up this morning. That counts. And God saw it. This prayer is support, not a replacement for wise professional help when you need it. But what we prayed for today, God heard every word. And if that under siege feeling creeps back in this afternoon, I made something for that. It's a prayer for peace when nothing around you feels stable. Just click the link in the description below this video. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.